The toughest part of this whole thing is loading the vinyl in and making sure that it runs through straight. So I'm going to show you a little trick. Hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm doing. So first of all, this ends up being challenging because the top of this was rolled, right? So this part wants to curl down. This is awkward because you're like just seeing my mouth, which is odd. So what we're gonna do, first of all, you can also see, and this applies to the 24-inch machine and the 12-inch cameos as well. What you can see is that if I have my roller all the way to the far right position, when I put my vinyl up here, it barely touches it. Now, because we are cutting such a length of HTV, I actually am gonna pull it in one set. So that way, if it does kind of slide a little bit or get a little bit off kilter, I'm not going to totally lose the roller off of here. This just helps secure it a little bit more. The other thing I'm gonna do, I told you I had like 10 tips in one, is I'm gonna try to roll this in the other direction just slightly. Now, you need to make sure, it's extremely important that this load evenly. So you're gonna use the automatic loading feature by pressing the up arrow, the load button. It's gonna blink and it's gonna give you a few seconds to place your vinyl up here. Now, what I can tell you is that this didn't load correctly. See? Okay, so you're gonna unload it. That's because I didn't have the thing. Don't feel like you can only load this one time. This is the most important part. It's also the most challenging. So just know, it's challenging for me at times as well. Okay, we're gonna press the load button. It's gonna flash. There's a little sensor there. I'm holding with both hands evenly, okay? Now, what I can see is that it looks like it loaded evenly. I'm gonna make sure that it did by pressing this down arrow up here. There's this directional arrow. What that's gonna do is it's going to run my vinyl through the machine and I'm gonna be able to see kind of how it's going without cutting it to make sure that it's not off track. So let's try that. Watch this roller over here. I can see, I don't know if you guys can see, it's getting a little bit off track. Oops, sorry. It's getting a little bit off track. So what I'm gonna do is roll it back the other way and reload. The worst thing you can do is not test this and then think, you know what, it'll be fine. And then you get all the way, 30 inches into your cut and your vinyl has now slipped completely out. You don't wanna waste this whole thing. Okay, again, I'm gonna press the button and I'm going to hold it with both hands and make sure. The other thing you can do, because my vinyl is 15 inches and my design is really only about 12, you can actually load it slightly to the left of that line so that your left roller here has a little bit more real estate, if you will. Okay, don't let it get caught up. All right, okay, I think we're good. But let's just make sure. Okay. Roll, roll, roll. See, we're on the whole thing. Okay, so we're pretty good here. Whoop. All right. I told you, this is the most challenging and time-consuming part of this. Okay, now we're gonna be ready to cut. So I'm cutting, obviously, without a mat. I'm gonna send this now to cut, and I'm not going to leave. Do not leave this. Also, make sure nothing is behind, and if you can, make sure as much of it as you can is as straight as you can, okay? It's gonna be rolling back and forth. So let's send this to cut. Okay, so our entire design, look at that. Our entire design is now finished. So now I'm gonna get everything out of my way so that we can weed this, and we will then be able to press it. All right, full design. Can you see? Ta-da! Yay! Now, oh gosh, I have the paper stuck in my foot. know? Here we go. All right, so how cute is this? Okay, this is obviously a table runner, but now that I'm looking at it, like this could be a cute like vertical banner, just like put some ribbon up at the top, right? And hang it. Wouldn't that be cute? I feel like that would be adorable. It's gonna be very difficult for me to get a full shot here for you, but here you go.